Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for Metal Build Strike Freedom Gundam. Got this recently from Tatsu Hobby and I'm so ecstatic. This is a really cool figure, and I still get comments asking, is this a figure, is this a model kit? It is a die-cast figure with a lot of great details. It's awesome. And yeah, so I finally got this. And just a heads up, if you want to order your metal build, I'm not sure if Tatsu Hobby has some. I can always inquire, but I would highly recommend to pre-order them. They are in-demand figures, even at that high price point, but you're just getting so much cool details, and it's just an amazing figure overall. But yeah, I'll provide the link down below if you are interested for Tatsu Hobby. And here we go. Here's the box. It's really big, and it's kind of hard to put everything in the camera. On the side here, we just have a side profile. You can see this kind of like a silhouette, or not like a dark, well, it's the Strike Freedoms on the side there. On the back side here, got more details. And this retails about, I'm just gonna, I kind of forgot what's the exact number, but it's about $200, more or less. And some metal builds actually gone up in price because they're just hard to find, one of which is Destiny. But I heard that they might reissue that one, which is great. And on the top here, and on the bottom. Yep. So that's it for the box. Let's take a look inside. Alright, so inside we're getting two trays. Usually one for the weapon set, the other for the backpack, but it depends on which metal build you are getting. And here we go, nice loadout here. Got the two beam shields. You get a variety of hands, and even the rifles, the effect parts, and beam saber hilts. On the other hand, we have the backpack here with also the side skirt, his railguns. You're gonna get your instruction booklet right here. I already opened this one. I probably put this backwards. Usually this lettering is on the back side, but there you go. And basically the other stuff is gonna be here. And the first thing you do is get your hobby knife and score around those, and just gonna take them off. And inside you're gonna have your base here. There's actually a bit more inside here. It's probably for the dragoons right there. That's my guess, but more than likely that's for that. And you're gonna have your Strike Freedom right here. That's held with there's actually a plastic underneath, and well, you know, a lot of stuff just to protect the in between the paints. There's like plastic fillers, and some of you are probably familiar with that already. And there you go. And here's your metal build base. It hasn't deviated from the design, or in terms of molding, it's the same. The only thing that differs is depending if you have the white or a black, and the decal or the lettering that goes on the base here. So this is kind of like your action-based one for your model kits, which is great. So in terms of just getting familiarized with it, you have this locking mechanism here, slides out. You also have this tab here, which you can move around and lock in place. And you also have another one here in front, which allows you to slide back, press it in, and it locks in place. Yep. And there you go. It's a really cool base. Now this is quite simple compared to, actually there's a little bit more, just showing you the lettering. We have Strike Freedom Gundam piloted by Kira Yamato. So again, this is quite simple because the main focus is the main figure and not so much for the base. Although they added more, like here, and it actually looks like a hanger, that'd be cool. But for me, it's a nice enough base just to leave it the way it is. Alright, we got Strike Freedom here, just the main figure, and we're gonna go over the accessories in a bit, or once I start putting it on. And it's a lot easier to do the articulation without those. Alright, so first, this is quite heavy with the die-cast parts, which is great. And for the most part, the joints that you're seeing painted or coated in gold is looking good. I like it. Although the hands here, it's painted in gold and almost the same gold, a little bit dull than the chrome plated ones here, but it's great. I like it. And yeah, the detail, the weight, it gives quality to the figure. Really nice. Also, another thing I've noticed on this one, it has a really large shoulder armor here. Yep. And that's great. I like those. Yep, really nice. Alright, and starting with the head here, we have the V-fit. These are not die-cast, they're actually just plated. Yep, and we can move the neck side to side. Actually, when I get back to Gundam, one of the first things that I really like is the design of the Strike Freedom. And actually, I kind of confused this with the Freedom because they have the same head sculpt. Well, they're pretty much the same Gundam, just an upgraded version. He can look down here, look up, and yeah, you can move it side to side. That's great. Design on the back side here. I like how they've painted that on the back side. Yep. This neck collar here is die-cast, which is really cool. I'm trying to see if there is some neck articulation from the torso. I cannot seem to move that for the most part. I can only move the joint here on top, which is not too bad. There we go. So you can even rock it back and forth. Now for the shoulder here, let's take a look here. You're able to move this up. There we go. It's connected on the back side. Yep. And I think you're able to swivel this shoulder armor as well. Yep, that's really cool. And all the screws are hidden inside there. Yep. And you got this shoulder armor here. Oh, there we go. You have a bicep swivel right here. Joint wise, actually let's remove this for now. Got that elbow bend, a good 180, fairly good. There's some hollow parts here and there, but not too bad. And there's a screw right there, huh? But then again, to the back side, you also have a wrist joint here, which is cool, and a forearm swivel. Yep. Got the flaps here. The vents, yep, really nice. This one, it's just painted over. Not that it will have die cast, but it does not. And it's just mounts here. The Strike Freedom is actually symmetrical for the most part, so it's the same on the right side here, or his right side. Then you have the torso, or actually, hold on, let's see what else. I'm not quite sure if it has a swivel point that they're allowed to move this shoulder forward. I don't think it does. Actually, it might have, but I don't want to break it. You're able to move this way. Looks like there's a swivel point there. Yeah. I'm not gonna challenge the figure. But moving on, we have the torso here, which slides down, which is really cool. Yep. I like how that thing just slides down. And see more gold here, the inner frame, really nice. And those are, I believe, just vents, because he does use a lot of energy, and you get to vent out all that excess energy from the reactor. And you have the front skirt here. I haven't put the side skirt, but they just mount on the side here. And you do have this kind of weird joint system on the front. I've only seen them in metal builds. Yeah, it's actually kind of nice. Kind of lets you see a little bit more of the inner frame. There is a tie swivel joint right there. There we go. A lot of gold. Like it. Certain amount of gold, like this one is nice. It's just a little bit. But for Iron Man, there's quite a bit of gold, which is actually a little too much. And we have the knee bend here, which is great. That's a per knee armor. There we go. So that's quite a good bend there for the knee. On the back here we have vents for his thrusters. Really nice. Then you have this shin guard here, which is actually, or ankle guards, connected on the back side. Then you have die-cast ankle joints here, which is a little stiff, but it's great since it's a heavy figure. You want to be able to be stable on that. And you could actually fold the toe down for flight poses. Yep, so that is good. Alright, and I think that's really it for the most part of the articulation. Oh, just realized that there's a big gap in the middle there, but it's not too bad, I guess, on this angle here. Some figures are able to mask that, but yeah. What else we got here? I think that's about it. I mean, you get a little bit of thigh swivel there, here and there. I'm trying to figure out what else I can go over this. Get the back skirt. I think, yeah, for the most part, that's it for articulation. And let's start adding accessories. Alright, so I'm gonna put the side skirt, but before we get there, we have the beam saber hilts here. And there is an option to connect them right here. And it's kind of like iconic for Strike Freedom to have that double-ended beam saber, kind of like Darth Maul. There we go. Get that nice beam effect part right there, which they've kind of give a little bit of silver highlights all over. And here we go, the other side. And this is quite long. Alright, so I'm gonna remove this effect parts, put it aside, and we have the side skirt right here. I believe it goes this way here, and we're just gonna attach this, one of them. There we go. Tab. So move this aside here, and we're just gonna press this in. There we go. Same thing on the other side. There we go, and I do want to point out, you gotta be careful when you're having him stand like this. Sometimes the ankles are just not that stable, and there might be a possibility that the metal build will topple over. There we go. Oh, okay. Actually, one side, there's a little silver paint on this one. You want the one with, it's an actual peg. And I kept popping this off. There we go. Not quite secure, but... And you can also move this, rotate this. Right, so for this railgun, let's see here. It's actually a little nicer than the Freedoms. Moves out of the way, and you just gotta align it together. There we go. Quite nice. I think I had a problem with my Freedom where it kind of gets stuck like the end here or something. So this one is quite great. There's even decals on here. What is it? It's a MM1 MISER. I'm not quite familiar with the actual name of this side skirt railgun, but I'm just gonna call it like that. Really nice. Alright, the next effect part I want to go over is the beam shield right here. More than likely, I'm not gonna display this on it. So here we go, and I just realized I put that in upside down. And let's see here. So for this one, we're gonna move this red tab here. I'm just gonna press it from the back side. There we go. And put this on. That's a nice spacing on it. There we go. Yeah, quite nice. You do have a little bit of clearance there for the shoulder, and it's a really nice effect. I like it. Again, they added silver highlights on that clear purple. Really cool, and you can even still see the forearm right there. So it's clear throughout. Really nice. I like that. Alright, next part is the rifle. And we got two of them. They're almost identical. They do have markings as well. Really nice. They do have peg connections, which I'll go over how to put that on the side. But the first, this is the front part, and this actually transforms a little different than the back side here. So first what we're gonna do is we gotta push this down here. It's a little tricky, but just press it. So again, from here, then actually it goes a little bit further till you hear that click. This one slides out a little bit. Either this way or to the side. They say just put on the side, but I kind of want to flip it all the way down. This one slides forward. Yep. You do have that handle here, but I'm just gonna leave it like this. Now onto the back side. This one extends out and extends a little bit more. That's really cool. Bring this down, and I think that's it. And now you just slide this in to that connection point right there, and there you go. We got a really long rifle. And I think this kind of uses like a sniper rifle, just putting the two outputs and making a really strong energy rifle right here. Right, let's just transform this back here. There we go. Now we can stash this on the side skirt, or basically on the side, and it's actually kind of interesting on how they did this. So I think it goes this way, that way he can grab it. Although they say it's this way, which wouldn't make sense. I guess, well, we'll go with this way. I guess you can hold it on the side. Right, so according to the instruction, we're able to, I guess, slide this back skirt down. There we go. And yeah, we'll see two swivel points right there. And we can push this whole thing backwards, which is cool. I like that. And that hilt won't stay on. And this joint is just stiff. There we go. That's really nice. I like it. And this exposes two peg holes there, which allows us to connect this. Here we go. And likewise, you can have this flip forward. I'm not sure if you're able to have all of them. More than likely, he's going to be holding this while the side skirt is going to be deployed. But yeah. But anyways, that's nice. I think I forgot to mention, you know, aside from this, you do have a little bit of waist movement there. Alright, so let's see, what else can we add on this guy? Alright, instead of putting it on individually, which could be a little bit more tedious to do, I'm just going to go over the hands we have. So we have a pair of closed fists, a pair of open hands, a pair of beam saber hilts, or for the beam sabers to hold that. You get a pair for trigger finger right there, and another pair for the beam saber as well, but this is a more angled. And you have more of, I believe this is just for the rifle, just to support it, especially if we have it fully deployed. And there you go, quite a bit of hands, and they're nicely detailed as well. I like that. Right, then I just want to quickly show this with the beam saber. That handle is quite a bit angled, yeah, which is great. And then there you go. It's a little bit difficult to swap out the hands actually. Let me demonstrate. I'm gonna swap with the trigger finger hand. So to do that, you gotta remove this one, just a precaution. And when you pull this out, you make sure you hold it from the forearm, not here. This wrist guard does come off, so you make sure you have a good grip there. Then just gently pull this. It is a straight peg with a little bit of I'm not quite sure what he called that, but there's a little nub there. And with that little rigid. So this does come off, so don't pull from here, else you're not gonna have a good grip. So we're just gonna put this on here. Same thing, pushing this in. This gives you that wrist joint movement. So push it down, or in an angle like so. That way it's not gonna twist as you try to push this in. So you get an angle, press your thumb on the other side, and just work your way in. There we go. Put back this. And I think I got it backwards. Is it? Yep. There we go. Let's grab this. Get that rifle down, or the handle. And this should just, whoops. It's one of those, it's kind of hard to work with the figure if it's a little too big and you need, seems like you need another hand just to hold the figure down. Typically when you're doing this, you're probably resting the rest of your finger on your lap or something while you try to push this in. I do apologize, I'm trying to get this in there. There we go. It's a lot easier, especially if you're not doing this behind the camera. But there we go. Alright, so they're, yeah, really nice. Let's see what else. Let's go with the wings. Actually, before we get there, there is two plastic stand. This connects your base, and you have a straight one here. Just plugs in here. There we go. And you have another one which is angled, and this might be great since you have that wings. So it's gonna be sticking on the side there. Alright, we got the backpack here. Really nice. You got 4 pairs of them. They're for 4 segment of the wings. There's some nice detail. Cool panel lines. Metallic blue. Really cool. I like it. Now in terms of articulation, you have that hinge here on the base, as well as seems like a ball joint or a peg that allows you to move this around. And you can individually move this up. It is connected on that, which one has that, a peg system. So you can move this up here, spread them up. Likewise, do the same thing on the other side. And here we go. And you should like kind of push this back here. That looks great. I like that. Even the vents here, you got the paint of gold. This part here on the thrusters on the back, you're able to move them individually. So that's great. And I think that's pretty much it in terms of articulation. Now the cool gimmick is removing the dragoons, which could be a little tricky to do. A friend of mine mentioned to, let's see if I can do this. Snap this down. There we go. And it's actually connected on a C clip. So once you hear that click, trying to pull this away now. And there we go. I think I got it. Well, I'm hoping. And that's what I'm talking about, that clip right there. It's really small. It's gonna be hard to show the camera, but there we go. You got this individual ones, and there's 8 of them. And to put it back on, actually, let's see, there's some gold details there. It's nice. To push it back, and let's see here. I think it should just snap in place. So then there we go. Then yeah, but I think it'll be nice if you're just able to just open them up, hear that first click, and kind of see that gold design and open it up for all of them. Yep, so that's nice. And there we go. That's pretty much it for the wings. And now let's put it back on the back of Strike Freedom. Actually, speaking of which, in terms of the base, there is a gimmick where you put the dragoons in. You got this kind of like a wing shape. It goes in between the base. You put this little notches here. They're labeled, and you just put all the dragoons right there. I'm not gonna do this gimmick. I really don't like that gimmick where you separate out the dragoons. Not really my thing. But I just want to show that. Here's the part of the base, and here's the individual ones that you gotta remove from here. Alright, and I forgot to show how to remove the dragoons. Yeah. Alright, here comes the fun part, putting this on. So we have the wings here, and we're just gonna attach on the square peg on the back. Put this on here and hold to the torso, and just gently just push it in, getting that there we go, lined up. And I already attached this. Well, it fell off. This connection here, which should just slide in. It does rest on the bottom of the backpack quite nicely. Put the base here. Now let's loosen it up. Put this on here. Now this seems like a quick, and it slides out quite easily. So I'm kind of afraid that just kind of leave it loose like that. It might slide down. So we're gonna go up a little bit till the next, and keep it in there. Now this will basically, gravity will push that peg down, so it will not fall. Yeah, but we do have that tendency to kind of prop up, his whole body. But it's better than that whole thing sliding down. Alright, so here we go. Just kind of reposition everything with the toes. And let's go open up the wings. I can't quite remember if the back is on top, but for the most part, that seems to work. There we go. Really nice. And maybe a bit forward for now. There you go. You get the dragoons. Then again, if you want, you go ahead and open it all up just slightly, just to see the little bit of details inside. And this is really nice. Alright, so I'm gonna put on the rifle, and I think that's where I'm gonna leave it at. I think having the rifle, holding the extended rifle, is a cool gimmick, or a cool display piece to have. Alright, and actually I didn't realize that you can extend this a little bit more, so just gonna show that one more time. Yep. And actually, he's holding it in a weird way, as always. Kind of reminds me of how Zeta holds the hyper launcher thing, or the long rifle he has. So for this one, you're gonna be mounting it on here, as well as you're gonna have the right arm extended with the hands holding it from the top, which in some sense looks a lot cooler than holding it from the bottom, but in the long run, you got a lot of the weight on the front. I'm just not sure if it's a good way to display it like this. But for demonstration's sake, here we go. It's nice, and no issues holding it like this, like I mentioned. Yeah, really nice. I like this. Here we go, next to the Freedom on the right here. And one thing I've noticed, the Freedom has a shade of gray, just a notch darker than the Strike Freedom. As well as in terms of the body build, the Strike Freedom is a lot larger, especially with that shoulder. Yeah, definitely. But for the wings, it seems like the Freedom has a bit more. But overall, you're gonna go for the Strike Freedom because you're just getting a lot more out of that compared to the Freedom. But it depends. Some people like the Freedom more than the Strike Freedom, although they're almost the same in some ways. Well, it's the upgraded version. Anyways, that's it. Now again, just a recap, the good, the bad. The good, this is a really nice high-end figure. Well worth the money you pay for it, and that's why they are in demand. They're just really great figures. Again, I really like the shoulder, having it really big. The gimmicks with the weapons, it works quite well. Especially the side rail guns, which folds out smoother than the Freedoms. I like that. And yeah, overall, it's quite a really nice figure. The bad, there's still a little bit of QC issues. I didn't really point it out on my review. Just part of the, in here, or actually this part here where it slides down, there's a segment there on that just the excess plastic, just a little bit, and you'll notice it from here and there, even on the elbow joints there, that it's not that clean in terms of when they remove it from the whatever runner or the casting. There's still a bit of that, kind of like what you'll see on Robot Tamashi, which I guess it could be prevented, but getting that extra detail might make this figure cost a little bit more. It is it's almost the same price as a Perfect Grade already, but this is already pre-built for you, pre-painted, and just ready to pose. So that is the difference. Perfect Grade, it's a lot bigger, but you gotta build it, and it takes quite a bit of skills to actually make it really cool looking like this one. But it's really up to the person. Anyways, that's about it for my review. Again, got mine from Tatsu Hobby. I'll provide down the link. And be sure to check out their pre-orders, especially for the new metal builds coming out. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. But otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed this review. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching. There's so many poses to choose from. I'll probably just this simple one. It's basically the pre-deployment of the Dragoons. Looks nice.